Alright, well, welcome back to Let's Play Neverwinter with Birdoggydog. I am Birdoggydog, and this is Neverwinter. Um, so again, we're going to focus on Birdoggia for the next little bit. So we're going to go ahead and start off. We may tweak the audio a little bit, depending on how loud it is in this video. It's pretty loud in my earbuds, so I'm going to mess with it a little bit. We're going to turn overall volume down to about 12. Music we're going to keep pretty low, maybe 3%. We'll turn effects down some, ambient down some. Voice we'll leave nice and high. What is FX? That must be FX. We'll turn everything up a little bit, but we'll turn FX down. We'll turn ambient down a lot as well. Okay, we'll try that and see how it goes.
Thank the gods! When I saw the Dracolich attack the ship, I was afraid there would be no survivors. What brings you to Neverwinter in such troubled times?
That's definitely
Sorry,
my business.
Didn't mean to pry. It's
I
just now is
disagree.
not a good time to be traveling here.
I'm pretty
As
sure
you may have
you meant to
noticed,
pry,
Neverwinter
dude.
is under attack. The necromancer Valindra is assaulting the city with her undead legions.
Woe is me.
Search the wreckage along the shore for your gear. It's dangerous to go unarmed right now. When you finish, head up to the camp at the top of the hill. They've got a nice warm fire up there. You'll feel better once you've dried out.
Well, it was nice of them to
Quest path
explain
leads
all
to
of
your
that
next
to
objective.
me. Good lord.
Press Z to toggle it on and off.
That is the
Waypoints appear on the map
manliest.
to mark your quest objectives.
That tutorial voice is about the manliest thing I can imagine ever hearing. We're gonna go ahead and turn voice volume down a little bit. It's nice to be able to hear them, but that's a little much.
Press F to interact with characters and objects.
Oh, it's so good. It's just so good. And by that I mean so ridiculous.
Press I to open your inventory.
Yeah.
Double-click an item to equip it. Press the Alt key to toggle mouse cursor and mouse look modes.
Thanks. That's a nice handy tip. So, okay, the way combat
Quest
works,
tracker
right, is
displays current
it's
quest
an action
objectives.
MMO. That's a neat little thing. You all have an evade maneuver, right? So I just did a sprint. The wizard has great evasion. That's actually one of the things I liked about him. It's
Campfires are
just
rest zones
basically a
where
teleport.
out-of-combat players may heal.
Oh man, so much chattiness. Just a bunch of chatterbugs. Okay, so I'm gonna tweak this down just a little bit more. Okay, so the way combat works is you have two at-will powers, right? So my general attack here, I'll get a second one once I unlock it. And then you have encounter powers, then you have daily powers. Daily powers are triggered by action points, which are, you'll see as I get into combat, this will fill up. Or maybe that's not unlocked yet, I'm not sure. But once that happens, you use daily powers that way. Encounter powers can basically be used after a timer goes off.
Good to meet you. It's good to see someone survive the attack on the ship. When you feel ready, please speak to me again. I'm afraid I need your help.
Well, good to meet you. Didn't you just tell me that? You've been staring at me the whole time, dude. I haven't gone anywhere. Is it that good to meet me? You need to
Although we
repeat yourself?
stopped Valindra's main force, the battle is far from over. The battlefield is crawling with mindless undead who lost their masters in the fighting.
Berate
To
you
make
and you
matters
just go into
worse,
this
the enemy
meaningless
is raising
rant?
our dead to use against us. Acolyte Naaman is performing a ritual of Kelimvor to lay the newly dead to rest. That is sure to draw an attack here. I must stay and make sure Naaman finishes her ritual. Could you search the battlefield for any wounded we missed and send them here? After you finish with the wounded, go to Del McCourt's camp and tell him our situation.
For our trouble, we get 5 experience and 4 whole copper. That's good money right there. Okay, well, let's go kill some stuff. So the control wizard
Sure
plays through
strike,
these
damaging all
these
foes in front of you.
I gotcha. These intro
Fire
quests.
your reticule over objects and enemies to target them.
There's probably a way to turn the tutorial off, but I'm lazy. Anyway, the control world wizard plays through a lot of these intro sections, and I'm curious to see if he plays through the whole sort of solo campaign faster because of his ability to target things at range very effectively. At least while he can kill them rapidly enough, he can just sort of stroll through large areas like this that are populated by weaker enemies and wipe them all out. You know, I have to run up to all of them at the moment. So, you know, if you're just trying to do a real quick view of the game, that'll show you a different side of it early on. It doesn't appear to really be true once you get higher level. You know, already by level 9, encounters are slower. They require more prep. You know, so there may be something there. Also, T is auto run. As a fun fact for you, I am currently playing this with mouse and keyboard. I have seen people be successful online using gamepads, so I am gonna try that out, and if I get it working, I will you know, post links to the guides or however it is that I did it. Oh, I don't need to keep running around. I've completed my objective. I have not determined whether or not monsters themselves give you experience. Quests are definitely a major component of the leveling process.
The level up guide displays everything you get for leveling up.
Whoa.
It may also offer important quests.
What does that? The level up guide? What did I get? Oh, wow. For a second I thought that said Raping Strike. It was like, good Jesus. That would be a terrible name for an ability. I don't want that ability. Okay, we do some damage, and we gain determination. I don't know what that does. Grows in strength as I charge it. Cool. And this is just sort of... Oh, it's an AoE though. That's cool. That's nice. Alright, that's good. Alright, let's talk to you. We were lucky to drive Valindra's forces back. Yes, you were. You're clearly all incompetent.
Thank you for aiding the wounded. They wouldn't have survived much longer with all the undead roving about. I'll try to get medical supplies and reinforcements to Linkletter as soon as possible. Unfortunately, we've got problems of our own here.
Oh, that sounds dire.
I'm afraid I have a gruesome task for you. We've driven Valindra's main army off, but our Red Wizard allies are still harassing us.
So Thay. Red Wizards are Thay.
Private Hothedon is trying to drive them off with his archers, but they're short on ammo. Search the battlefield and scavenge some arrows from the dead, and then take them to Hothedon.
So the Red Wizards of Thay are a bad guy in just about everything they ever show up in. I haven't seen any fiction where they're good guys, really. Partially because I think they're all insane, but that's the price that comes with becoming absurdly powerful, I think, as a wizard in any D&D setting, particularly one...
button to charge Reaping Strike for extra damage.
Man, we are charged up. I have no idea what's going to happen when we let this go. Let's find out. Oh, he's going to run. What a bastard. Alright. Okay. One shot. That's decent. Come on. I'm not sure that really is worth it. What happened here?
I will answer your questions if I can, but do not break my concentration. Valindra had a Dracolich under her control when she attacked Neverwinter. It attacked ships in the harbor, and then came straight for the city. My friends and I were helping Sergeant Knox defend the walls when it attacked. There was a terrific battle, and we were able to defeat it. I don't know how Valindra got a Dracolich. Perhaps a deal with the cult of the dragon. The important thing is that we deprive her of it. When a Dracolich is killed, its spirit returns to a special phylactery. From there, it can possess the body of another dragon and be reborn. This Dracolich's spirit has not departed yet. I am trying to bind it here. If it cannot return to the phylactery, we may be able to destroy it and deprive Valindra of a powerful ally.
Well, good luck, sir. So, Valindra is that is this lich woman that shows up and gives you a tough time in the intro video, and is probably the thorny bad guy that you have to deal with through the main plot of this. At least at the beginning. I don't know if that's long term going to be the case, but at least starting off, she is the enemy. I will probably put the intro video in the next video so that you guys get a chance to see it. It's pretty. Maybe I'll do it in the first video if I'm feeling, fancy, but I don't know. We'll see. Depends on how I'm feeling. F auto takes, right? So you can take all. This being a free-to-play game has a whole currency system. Perfect World Entertainment, I think, is the name of the company that owns this game, and they have a currency that exists in all of their games called Zen. There's also Astral Diamonds. I don't know what either of those things are. I may shell out 20 or 30 bucks or something and get some sort of basic starter kit if I can tell that it'll speed up progress enough to make these videos more interesting. Why can't I do that? That we'll see. It depends on how much we like the game and if there's any interest in the Let's Play. Presuming there is, might even shell out 50 bucks, who knows, but there's sort of different price points. There's, I think, a $19 or $20 price point, a $40 or $50 price point, and then I think a substantially like a $200 price point.
We must
You're
drive
welcome.
the Wiz. Thank you for the help.
You're also welcome.
The Red Wizards haven't been driven away, but this will at least force them to keep their heads down.
Yeah, tell them all to shut up. I mean, keep their heads down. That's what I meant. Sleeping Dragon Bridge.
More undead are attacking Neverwinter. They're boiling out of Castle Never and storming the Sleeping Dragon Bridge. If the bridge falls, they will enter the heart of the city. Protector's Enclave. I must stay and deal with the Red Wizards. Please, go to the bridge and aid the defenders. Destroy the undead soldiers near the gate to our north so it may be opened safely. Then talk to Private Wilfred. He will get you inside the city and show you the way to the bridge. Be careful, these undead are more aggressive than others you fought. Tempest grant you strength.
Alright, let's see what new ability we learned. We learned our new encounter power, Not So Fast. Release a fast-spinning slice to the legs of enemies around you, briefly slowing them. Okay. So we get a lot of AoE attacks with this character, which I'm liking. The control wizard's definitely, early on a much more sort of single target, kind of encounter. I think over the long run he becomes more of a. Oh man, he's gonna actually be really nice if he can pull in a crowd. Yeah, this is actually fairly promising. Sorry about that. I'll try not to spam fail too many things. But yeah, so this is Neverwinter's combat system. I haven't been doing much in the way of dodging. It seems a little, it's definitely harder. Ooh, it's a much less powerful dodge than what the wizard has. That is the one thing, for certain that the wizard's gonna have that the fighter doesn't, is I'm gonna have to face tank a fair amount. Which is a bummer, because the wizard really has a pretty nice ability to just GTFO if he needs to. Which makes sense. I mean, he's the wizard. He needs to be able to GTFO if he needs to. So I guess that's, a reasonable thing. Yeah, so the Great Weapon Fighter is playing fairly fun. The basic combat in this is a little clicky for me. It's why I'd like to get it into a controller as soon as possible. But it's not bad. It plays reasonably well, and with the dodge mechanic in there, that gives you some real ability to, skillfully increase what you can pull out of fights and the number of potions you use, and potentially dying, can be based around whether or not you get hit.
You're
So if
looking
you
a
can
good
dodge
deal
it, you can
fiercer than when you
probably-
washed up on the beach. Told you drying out by the fire would do you good.
Yes,
My
you
mother
did.
always says, warm clothes make for a warm heart. You've thinned out the skeletons enough that we should be able to slip through the gate safely. Linklater gave me some healing potions for you. You may need them on the bridge.
So I'm going to try and let you guys hear all the spoken dialogue, A, because it's an excuse for me to, but B, so that I don't have to read it to you and you can know what I'm questing on. I know almost nothing about the armor system and stuff like that. Like I said, I've played a little 4, but not a lot, so I don't know too much about it. We can look at some of the basics here. Your total defensive values. I have 2 hull protection. Wow. 7% damage resistance. That's not too bad. Deflection chance. 2 hull percents. Wow. How much damage you avoid? 50%. Okay. None of that's too shabby. Action point gain 0. Recharge. Critical severity. That's nice. 9% critical. Okay. Alright, so, got a couple of little really basic, horrible things. I see, we can be naked, or we can be in full sort of glory. Alright, powers, we've already shown you what we've got. Feats, I don't really know the full feat system. I know you get points at some level, probably 10, to upgrade these different lines of advance. So we've got an instigator, okay, destroyer, innate strength. Okay, well, we'll look at all that in more detail once it's time to do it. For the moment, we're just going to get through these first quests. Sleeping Dragon Bridge it is. But yeah, I'm going to try and let the NPCs ramble at you. I may occasionally talk back to them because NPCs and MMOs crack me
They're
up.
in trouble! We must go to their aid!
I love how he just screams that at you. Like, why are you yelling that? I'm right here. I'm literally like 16 inches from your mouth, and you're screaming in my ear. Just seems a little goofy. So you can see the combat has some cool stuff like that. Oh lord. So
Not sprint when your stamina is low.
has some cool stuff going on with the attack zones being visible, right? Like I can dodge out of the ways of attacks, and I can sprint in on them like that. So there's some neat stuff there. It's interesting. I can already see a very big playstyle difference between this guy and the wizard, which is cool. It's nice to see that even early on they play very differently. That's always a good sign in these kinds of games. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be horrifically unbalanced for PvP, and everything I've read sort of indicates that at the moment. But that's okay. I mean, I love PvP, but in games, the PvP I really loved. If any of you have ever played Asheron's Call. Now that's classic, top-notch PvP, or the early days of Ultima. Although Ultima was so horribly broken that in its sort of glory days, as to be almost kind of impossible to play. Now that was a fairly destructive little burst of activity we engaged in right there. This character is going to be pretty fun. He can just so quickly wipe out enemies. If they're weak like that, he just destroys them. Or she, I suppose I should say. Oh, nice. Texture glitch on the sword there. She's so tiny that the sword just... there's just too much sword to go around. Alright, well come on in, guys. Let's get the whole gang. And just get rid of them all. So yeah, encounter powers, one thing I wish they'd do is, okay, well that encounter's over, so you can unlock my encounter power. That's a new encounter right there, so why is it still on a timer? That, maybe that's a stupid thing to complain about, but it seems reasonable, right? Like, I shouldn't have to cool down an encounter power if I've cleared the encounter. Unless you think this whole bridge is an encounter, but then why am I not fighting all of these things all at the same time? That seems a little cockeyed to me. Like, why are you calling it encounter power when it's really just got a cooldown of 10 seconds or 11 seconds? It's something I'm a little curious about.
Is that?
That's a Deathlock White. It says so right above its head, guy. You know, sometimes I just think you're not even reading. I don't know. Some people's children. Let's see what we got this level. We got our daily.
Doing damage to all enemies in melee range.
New class power destroyer. What is that? Destroyer. Your huge swipe strike deep. Yeah, they do. Sorry.
You can activate
Every
your
time I
daily
hit more
power
than
when
3
your action
enemies,
points are full.
I do an extra 2% damage stacks. Nice. New daily power. Spinning strike. Swing the sword around a lot. Each one doing 11 to 13 damage. I have control immunity, guaranteed deflection, and increased run speed. Alright, well, we'll certainly give that a try. There's a boss coming up here not too long. So, that rather entertainingly just gets rid of Wilfred. It's actually my favorite part of the intro is what's about to happen. Oh, this is not the way it was supposed to go down. Come on, everybody. Let's all die. I like that the archers apparently aren't capable of turning around. Alright, so here's the fun part.
Valindra!
Oh, you're so enthusiastic. And then... I like that they don't even show you like his upper body or anything. It's just like his ass and his ankles. And then he goes away. It's just beautiful. Really, really beautiful. Alright, let's kill ourselves, some of you. Oh, you're just gonna let me beat up on your minions without any involvement? That's awfully handy of you. Alright, well, Harbinger, let's put you through your paces. So I can dodge his big attacks like that, right? Oops. Let's see what one does. Oh, one. Oh, that's cool though. It doesn't use up the same way as other stuff. Neat. Alright, we just do a ton of damage all one right after the other. That's cool. So these early bosses are a little cakewalky. I don't even really need to move here. I've got so much health. The wizard I had to be a little more careful of, but you know, that's sensible. He is a wizard after all. Shouldn't be that hardcore. Oh, I'm prone.
Press F to pick up loot.
Yep, I figured that out like 15 pieces of loot ago, guy. F is for everything. So, what did we get? We got, let's identify it. Okay, we got some +4 to our defense. Might have been nice to have before the massive boss, but whatever. Let's talk to Wilfred. I'm a little confused how he ended up there. So, if you'll recall, I was standing around here, so was he. He ran up, and then he kind of went whee off to there, but it looked to me anyway like he hadn't made it through this portcullis, but who am I to judge? Maybe that was just me being silly. The camera angle on that is still great.
Sorry, should have been more cautious.
That's an understatement.
But when I thought of all my friends who died because of her...
Did you cry? I think you
Find
cried.
Sergeant Knox and tell him what happened. Ask him to check on my mother from time to time.
Oh, your facial expressions right now, Wilfred, are really great. Oh, yeah, keep the animation up. Oh, you just look so lost and confused. I'm sorry, guys, I got distracted. Okay, hang on, Private. I'll get help.
You have to stop her. Lord Neverember is no saint, but he's better than the alternative. If Neverember fails here, Valindra will rule Neverwinter. Find Sergeant Knox. He's one of Neverember's guards, one of the good ones. You must stop Valindra.
Did you just die or have an orgasm? What happened, dude? You're still... Oh, I have to click something for you to do anything, because the world revolves around Birdoggia. It's a lesson I should already know. So we had this conversation about this screen the other night. That's such an anticlimactic intro, right? Like, that intro, the boss was okay, but that sign's like badassery, and really the sensation I get is sort of like, Neverwinter, this is kind of mediocre. Which maybe isn't the message they're trying to send, I'm not sure. I could be misreading the whole thing. Maybe they're really after mediocrity. I just don't know. Anyway, so that's the intro sequence, and I think with that we're going to call this video a go. Thanks for watching, and we'll do the sort of next round, probably levels 5 or 6, maybe even 7, next time. Talk to you later, guys. Birdoggydog signing out.